Alright, good morning class. Today we are going to look at a new lesson. Okay, a new lesson which is process and procedure. Okay, and this is how you write process and procedure. Last week we only look at the type, okay, whether it's linear or non-linear. Okay, still remember linear means something, the process and procedures are usually in written. Okay, you write the process and procedure to make it clear, right? Okay, so now let's see how you can write the process and procedure. Okay, and the form, okay, the way you write the process and procedures are in active and passive form. Okay, or sometimes it's called active and passive sentences. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so active form. Okay, active form, it is used if you want to write a procedure. Okay, let me just edit this a bit. Okay, if you write procedure, it has to be using active form. Okay, active because you need to, we'll see why do you need to use active form, okay, for procedure. Okay, and I hope you will still remember what is process and procedure. Okay, let's see number one. Okay, active form. Okay, if you want to write procedure, okay, if you want to write procedure, you need to use active form. Okay, because procedure focus more on the action. Okay, when you want to ask someone, your friend, to, for example, how to use ATM machine, okay, you will start the sentence with the verb. Okay, a verb. Verb means action. Okay, so for example, how to use ATM machine, you will first say insert card, select language, press this button. Okay, so that words, those words, press, install, okay, what else, select, all those are verb. Okay, and verb is action. Okay, so to write procedure, you start with the verb. Okay, and there are the basic what they call it, the basic form, okay, of an active form are just the verb and subject. There are only two things that you need to write in active sentence, active sentence. Okay, so the verb and the subject. This is just the basic. Okay, so let's say the verb is install, the action is install. You need to include the subject. What are the subject? Okay, what are the things that you do with that action? For example, install. Okay, what are you installing? What do you install? Okay, so you can say software or apps, application. Okay, another example, insert. Okay, the action is insert. So what do you insert? Money or coins. Okay, and then cut. What do you cut? Paper or rope, cloth. Okay? So the verb, okay, the action, and the subject. The subject are things that you do with that action. Okay, so here noun. Usually the subject are noun. Okay, and to write this sentence, active form, it's easy because you just need to put the root word. Install, just word install. Don't need to put ed or ing ke. Okay, no need. Just use the root word. Install, insert, cut. Okay, and followed by the subject. Okay, right. Okay, so for example, let's say I give you this picture. Okay, and you need to describe. Okay, so this is a procedure. This is one of the SOP, right? So if you still remember, SOP means standard operating procedure. So it's in the name itself, it's a procedure, right? So for this one, wear face mask. You start with the action, wear. Okay, the verb, wear, and then what are you wearing? Face mask. Okay, so if you want to say wear t-shirt, t-shirt is the subject. Okay, so it depends. And then for this one, okay, let's say This is like you add some item in your shopping cart in Shopee, right? So number one, you need to identify the verb. So we can say something like select. Select is the action, it's the verb. Okay, and then what are you selecting? Okay, the item. Or if you want to be more specific, also can, like select the shoes that you like, something like that. Okay, and then insert ATM card. Insert is the action, and then ATM card is the subject. Okay, for active it's quite simple. You just need to have the verb and then the subject. Okay, next is passive. Okay, passive is a bit complicated because you need to move around the arrangement. Okay, insert the modal verb and change the verb into past participle. Okay, so for passive, to write a process, you use passive to write process. Okay, so here we are like, I just want to differentiate lah. So for active just now, active, you use it to write procedure. For passive, you use it to write process. Okay, right. If you still remember, process are to make something, how to make something, right? So if you want to explain on how to make something, okay, you use passive form. Okay, so for passive form, it focuses more on the subject, the noun. Okay, and the subject will be at the beginning, like this, for example. The subject, for example here, the sugar, the bamboo, the butter. Okay, the subject goes first. Compared to active just now, let's say active again. Active, the subject is after the verb. Okay, but for passive, the subject is in front. Okay. Okay, so the form is like this. It has three elements. Okay, three elements: the subject, the modal verb, and the verb that you change to past participle. Okay, so for example, the sugar. Okay, sugar is the subject. Okay, and then you need to insert modal verb. Modal verb are these are some example: must be, has to be, needs to be. Okay, and then the verb that you change into past participle. Okay, the original verb here is add, ADD. Okay, but for passive, you need to change it to past participle. Okay, so you need to add ED. Okay, same thing with measured. Okay, originally it's measure, but you change it to past participle, it becomes measured. Same thing with beat. The original verb is beat. Okay, but you change it to past participle, it becomes beaten. Okay, so there are three elements in writing passive form. Okay, so number one, you need to identify the subject. You need to know the subject first. Like you are shown some pictures like this. Okay, you need to identify the subject. Okay, so picture number one, let's say for this one, the subject here is the onion. Okay, the onion, because the action is this knife. You are slicing or cutting the onion, right? So the subject here, the thing that you do in this process is the onion. And then number two, paper. Paper is the subject. Okay, number three, eggs. Eggs are the subject. Okay, and then number four, the hot water. The subject here is the hot water. Right? So first, know the subject. Identify the subject. Okay, so once you know the onion, the paper, which one is the subject, you can insert the modal verb. Okay, so let's say the onion here. So you know the first word that you need to write is onion. Okay, onion. Okay, and then the word onion. Okay, so let's edit it a bit. Okay, so let's say the word onion. Or you can just, you add the onion. Okay, the onion, that is the subject. So you need to insert modal verb. So here are examples of modal verb. So you can choose either one. Must be, should be, need or needs to be, depends whether it's singular or plural. have or has to be, is or was, are or were. Okay, so let's say we use must be. The onion must be. Okay, after this, we still have some thing to add. Alright, but for now, this is the subject. Okay, you identify the subject and then you insert modal verb. Okay, and then we move on to the next step. You need to add the past participle. Okay, and past participle are verb that you change into past participle. Okay, okay, so let's say this picture again. Onion, let's say slice the onion. Okay, so here the onion must be slice. The original word is slice. But you need to change slice into past participle. Right? Change slice into past participle. Right? You cannot just put slice here. The onion must be sliced ni wrong. You need to change it. Okay? So let's see what is past participle first. Okay, past participle is not past tense. It's not past tense. Okay, so there are two technique. Let's say technique. Two technique to change verb into past participle. Alright, two technique. Okay, number one, if the verb is regular verb, okay, the past participle is the same as simple past tense. Okay, but even though it's the same, but simple past tense and past participle are different. Okay, so for example, the word paint. Okay, so okay, let's write here. Let's say paint. Okay, wait. Okay, paint. Paint is the verb. It is a verb. So you need to change it to past tense first. In order to know the past participle, you need to change it into past tense. Okay, so paint, the past tense is painted. Okay, just add ed there. So this is past tense. Okay, and then from painted, if the past participle is this word, you just add ed like this. Okay, I underline. Okay, automatically the past participle will also be the same word with past tense. So it will also be painted. Same thing. So this is also past participle. Same thing, see? They only add ed here. Okay. Wait, I highlight this one. Where is the highlight ni? Okay. I change the sentence lah. Okay, so basically it will become like this. If the verb, when you change it to past tense, you only need to add ed. Automatically, the past participle also you need to add ed. Okay, same thing with fix. Okay, for fix, for example, fix. Fix is past tense. Fix is, this is the verb. Okay, and then for the past tense, you only need to add ed. Fix, past tense. So automatically, the past participle also fixed. You need to change anything. Just follow the past tense. Past participle. Okay. Right. So ed. This one also ed. Okay. So for regular verb, it's easy. Okay, but you need to know the past tense first. Need to know the past tense, and then you can get the past participle. Okay. But for other word like this, irregular verb is when you need to change. For the past tense, you need to change the word altogether. For example, the word catch. Catch. Okay, so let's see. Catch. which is the verb. Okay, and then if you want to change it to past participle, it becomes caught. And for this is special case lah. Case, the past participle is the same, but only certain word. Past tense. Okay, and past participle is also caught. This one the same, right? The same macam ni. Okay, but some words, some other words of irregular, okay, like chose, for example. Okay, chose. Chose is the verb. Then if you want to change it into past tense, it becomes chose. Choose. This one is choose, sorry. It becomes chose. The past tense is chose. So you see, if the past tense, you need to change the sentence or the spelling. Okay, you cannot just simply add ed. Okay, so which means you need to do something with the past participle. Okay, so you cannot just add ed lah, like this one. Okay, you need to figure out what are the words. Okay, for example, chose. The past participle becomes chosen. You need to add en. You add n there. Okay, so this is past participle. Okay, so see, catch. For the past tense, you cannot simply add ed. Okay, so the past participle also you need to figure out the word. It will be a different word. Okay, and chosen, same thing. The verb is chose, and then the past tense is chose. See, change. You need to remove the o kan. You cannot just simply add ed. Okay, so the past participle, you need to add en. You add n lah here. chose. You add n here. So become chosen. No, same thing. Okay, no, the past participle is known. Okay, for this one, okay, let's see. For this one, it's no. No is the verb. You change it to past tense first. It becomes new. New, past tense. The past participle is not new. It's known. You need to add n to the verb. Okay, so it becomes past participle. For past participle, I think it's a lot easier if you know a lot of words. Okay, because you know that this word exists, something like that. Okay, but first, if you want to know the past participle, you need to know the past tense first. Okay, like this one, for example. Okay, verb paint, the past tense is painted. Okay, so if you just add ed, automatically past participle also you just need to add ed. Okay, but for irregular verb like new just now, the word new. Okay, from the word know, you look for the past tense new, right? You don't just add ed. So the past participle, usually you need to add n from the original verb. Okay, or for the word choose, past tense chose, past participle chosen, you add n at the end of it. Okay, but yeah, for irregular verb, so like I said, if you know a lot of words, a lot of vocabulary, it will be easier for you. Okay, but yeah, somehow these are some of the technique to make it easier lah. Look for the past tense first, and then you will know the past participle. Okay, for example, this one. Okay, talk, simple past tense, the past tense, you just add ed. So automatically past participle also, you just need to add ed. Cry, you need to add ied. So past participle also the same. Okay, and then irregular verb, ring, simple past tense, you cannot just add ed. You need to change this letter, right? I, you change to a. So past participle also, it will be another word usually. You cannot just add ed. Right? So for ring, it becomes rung. Swim, simple past tense, swam. And past participle, swam. Okay, ate, eat, past tense, ate. Past participle, eaten. Rise, past tense, rose. Past participle, risen. Okay, and then we come back to the regular chase. Chase, simple past tense, you just need to add ed. So simple past participle also, you just need to add ed. Okay, and go, simple past tense, different you cannot add ed. So past participle, you need to change the word. So it becomes gone. Okay. Right. So example, okay, write in passive form. Let's say you are given the pictures. These are the same pictures that I show you earlier on about the subject. Okay. So let's say picture number 1. This one. Picture number 1. Okay. So if you want to write in passive, okay, you need to focus on the subject first. What are the subject? What are the things that you do that that relates to the verb? Okay, so here the paper. The paper is the subject. The paper, and then insert modal verb and the past participle. Alright. So for the past participle for cut is also cut. Cut, you don't change. For past tense, also cut. The word is also cut. And past participle, the word is also cut. For cut, it's quite special lah because you don't have to change anything. Okay, but for other word like boil, for example. Okay, so picture number 2, the subject here are the eggs. So you start the sentence with the eggs and then insert past participle. Past participle you can use either one, need to be, or must be, or should be, okay, or is. Cannot is lah, are lah. The eggs are, pun boleh. Also can. Okay, insert modal verb and then the past participle of the verb. Okay, verb ni boil lah kan. You are boiling egg. Okay, so you change that word boil into past participle. So boil, the past tense is boiled, B-O-I-L-E-D. So automatically past participle also B-O-I-L-E-D, same thing. Okay, number 3 also. Okay, so the subject here is hot water. The hot water. And then you insert the modal verb. So here I'm using should be. Okay. And then the past participle of the verb. So originally it's pour, right? Pour. Okay. So you change it to past participle. It becomes poured. P-O-U-R-E-D. Right. Okay. So let's see from the very beginning. Okay. So when you want to use active form. You use active form when you want to write procedure. Okay, procedure are how to do or how to use something. How to use ATM machine, how to use vending machine, right? How to install software. Okay, and then you use passive form to write process. Okay, process is how to make. Okay, so I write here. Procedure is how to use. Yeah, how to use. Okay, so for process is how to make. Okay, see process, how to make, yeah. How to make food ke whatever. Okay, so you need to follow this. It's like a rule lah, right? Because this will relate to your assignment. Okay, I also send you the not send. I also posted you the question or the guideline to do your assignment. So you in your Google Classroom, so you can read the note first. Okay, and then next week I will explain further. Okay, I will explain more in detail. Right? Okay, back to the topic. Let's recap. Okay, for active, you use it to write procedure, how to use. Passive, process, how to make. Okay, and then for active form, it's easy. you just need the verb and the subject. Okay, start with the verb. Active, you start the sentence with the verb like this. Okay, the verb, the action. So here the action is wear. So what are you wearing? What do you wear? Face mask. So simply wear face mask. And then what do you do with this? Select. Select apa? What do you select? Select item. Okay, and then insert. What do you insert? Insert ATM card. Okay, so active is quite simple. Okay, but for passive, you need three things. Okay, the subject, the modal verb, and the past participle. Subject, like this one, you need to know the thing that involved in this process. So here it's the onion, the eggs, the paper, the hot water. Okay, and then you need to add modal verb. Okay, like this one, for example, the onion must be apa? Kan? You can choose either one. Must be or should be, need to be, have to be, is, are, or was, were. Okay, and then after you got the modal verb, you need to change the verb. The original verb is slice, right? So you need to change the verb into past participle. So let's say this sentence. Okay, let's just insert one here. Okay, let's say this sentence tadi. The onion must be, so slice, you need to change it into past participle. Okay, past participle, it becomes slice. You just need to add ed. So automatically, no, first you need to know the past tense. Slice, past tense is this one, S-L-I-C-E-D. So automatically the past participle also the same. You don't need to change. Participle. Okay. Right. So it becomes the onion must be sliced. This is passive sentence. This is passive sentence. Okay. Right. So I think that's it. Okay, if you have any question, you can refer back to the note. I also upload the note in your Google Classroom for week 5. Right. Okay, so I think that's it for the note. Okay, yeah, please read or watch this video first or read the note first. If you just answer the question, most probably you will not get the answer right. Okay, all right, so I think that's it. Thank you. Please go to do your task in week 5 in Google Classroom. All right, thank you.